Hi everyone and welcome to our channel. I'm Ninon.
And I'm Dominic.
And we're excited to share how we build trust and ensure quality at SwedBNB. So first, Dominic, how we establish trust with owners and guests?
So I think the best way, Ninon, that we've found over the last 6 years to establish really good trust with owners and with our guests is regular and transparent communication.
Okay.
When things are going great, when there's challenges at a property, when guests are having a difficulty with something, just being open on and making sure we provide 24/7 communication to our guests, to owners, to BRFs, and to any service that might need our support. And that goes a long way in building trust. Being Sweden's leading property management company, we've learned a lot of lessons over the year, and we make sure that our owners feel comfortable and really trust the service that we provide.
Yeah, sounds great. And what kind of measures do you take to ensure that we select reliable and trustworthy guests?
Yeah, and that's a common question for property owners about how we make sure that the guests that are staying in their homes are the guests that they want to be staying in their homes. And there's a few things that we do, Ninon, and one of them is around pricing. So SwedBNB properties earn a lot more than the market average. And one of the reasons is we simply charge a lot more. But we can do that because we have superhost status, because we have the power of having so many properties listed across the country, because we're a preferred partner with Airbnb and Booking.com, our properties get priority on these booking platforms, which means we can charge more. And that also leans towards sometimes pricing out maybe young people might be looking for a party.
Yeah.
And so generally our guests are older guests, but it's also the communication that we have with guests. As you know, Ninon, we put a lot of effort into making sure that we have regular and ongoing communication with our guests. So we communicate with our guests multiple times before they even check in. And we use words like, thanks very much for booking our family home. Thanks very much for booking our apartment. And when the guests actually check in, there's a handwritten note here for them, written by Sophia, with some chocolates and some chips or maybe some wine, and just welcoming to them. And again, we're using that language, please care for our home during your stay. And then of course, we also have monitoring devices that monitor the decibel. They're fully compliant with privacy laws and GDPR, but they monitor the noise, they monitor if there's cigarette smoking, they even monitor how many people connect to the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And that means that we always know what's happening in our apartments. Guests have complete privacy, but we do know if things are getting noisy or if people are smoking inside. And all these things contribute to the fact that we don't have parties at our properties. Our properties are looked after, we have great guests, and the owners feel really safe.
Okay, it's really interesting. And how do you maintain high standards in quality of property maintenance?
Yeah, and making sure that the properties have really good levels of maintenance is critical to make sure that the guests and owners have a great stay and also a great investment. And so we visit the properties regularly, like we are today.
Yeah.
We work every day from our properties. That's how we know. We have our lunch, we do our coffees and teas. We're using the properties every day. So we see them when there's not guests or in between guests. We'll go to the properties, we'll work from the properties, we'll do our videos at the properties, we'll be meeting with partners, property owners. So we see the properties every day. We know if something's wrong at the property because we see it. And then we have a great team of cleaners, maintenance people who are just always getting things fixed as soon as there's a small issue.
Okay, yeah. And last question, can you explain how we manage property expenses and to ensure quality services without overspending?
Yeah, and that's really important because ultimately property owners work with us because they're after a hassle-free income.
Yeah.
And we know that short-term rentals earn between 1.5 and 2.5 times what long-term rentals do. So the income you get from a short-term rental from having your property with SwedBNB is so much higher, basically double the income you get from a long-term rental. But maintenance cost is something that we need to manage to make sure that that doesn't eat away at the profitability.
Yeah.
Now, because we have a great team of electricians, locksmiths, plumbers that are regularly working with us, the costs are kept really low. We know them, we trust them, they keep their cost to a minimum because we're a really good client. And as a result, any cost to the owner is kept really small. And we also, as I alluded to before, we intervene when the problem is small. So a small crack, a small loose hinge, a small problem with the window, we fix it when it's only going to be a $10 repair. We don't wait for something to fully break and then it's $1,000 repair. And that's one of the keys to really good maintenance, and that's preventative maintenance, getting in early.
Yeah, well, thank you, Dominic, for sharing all these valuable insights. Don't forget, if you like this video, to like, comment, share and subscribe to have more expert tips from SwedBNB. And yeah, thank you, Dominic.
Thanks very much, Ninon, and thanks for listening.
Bye.